photo eye is not a dimmer switch. A photo eye functions as a sensor that detects ambient light levels, whereas a dimmer switch is specifically designed to manually control the brightness of lights. Both devices play a role in lighting control, but their operational principles and intended purposes differ significantly. Photo eyes are generally employed to automate the switching of lights based on environmental light conditions. A common application is the automatic activation of outdoor lights at dusk and their deactivation at dawn. Furthermore, photo eyes can dynamically adjust the brightness of lights in response to fluctuating light levels. An example would be dimming indoor lights when there is increased natural sunlight. Dimmer switches, conversely, provide a means to manually adjust the brightness of lights. They typically feature a knob or slider, allowing users to set the light level from minimum to maximum. Dimmer switches are frequently used in both homes and commercial buildings to achieve varied lighting effects or to allow occupants to customize lighting to their specific requirements. Though both photo eyes and dimmer switches serve to regulate lighting within a space, they are fundamentally distinct devices. Photo eyes operate as light-sensitive sensors, while dimmer switches are used for the manual adjustment of light brightness. Now to delve further into the technical distinctions between these two devices, firstly, consider the underlying technology. Photo eyes utilize a photoelectric sensor, which changes its electrical characteristics in response to light exposure. This change is then used to trigger a switch or control circuit, which in turn controls the lighting. This mechanism allows for automated operation based on external light conditions. Secondly, dimmer switches employ different technologies to achieve manual brightness control. Traditional dimmer switches use a variable resistor to reduce the voltage supplied to the light, effectively dimming it. However, these types of dimmers are inefficient, as they dissipate the excess energy as heat. Modern dimmer switches often use electronic components like tracks to rapidly switch the current on and off, creating an effect of reduced brightness. This method is more energy efficient than using variable resistors. Thirdly, it's important to note the compatibility of each device with different types of light sources. Photo eyes are generally compatible with a wide range of light sources, including incandescent, fluorescent, and LED lights, as they simply act as a switch based on light levels. Dimmer switches, on the other hand, need to be specifically designed for the type of light they are controlling. For example, dimming fluorescent lights requires a different type of dimmer switch than dimming incandescent lights. Using an incompatible dimmer switch can lead to flickering, reduced bulb life, or even damage to the light fixture or dimmer. Fourthly, consider the application environments. Photo eyes are typically used in outdoor settings or in areas where automated lighting control is desired. Examples include streetlights, parking lot lights, and building security lights. Dimmer switches, however, are more commonly used in indoor settings where users want the flexibility to adjust their lighting to their preference. This includes living rooms, dining rooms, and offices. Fifthly, think about the installation and wiring requirements for each device. Photo eyes often require more complex wiring than dimmer switches, as they need to be connected to a power source, the light fixture, and a control circuit. Dimmer switches, on the other hand, typically just replace the existing switch in the circuit. However, it's crucial to ensure that the wiring is done correctly and complies with local electrical codes to prevent electrical hazard. Sixthly, consider the energy efficiency aspects. Photo eyes can improve energy efficiency by automatically turning off lights when they are not needed, such as during daylight hours. Dimmer switches can also save energy by allowing users to reduce the brightness of the lights, which consumes less power. However, it's important to use energy-efficient light bulbs such as LED to maximize energy savings. Seventhly, compare the cost of photo eyes and dimmer switches. Photo eyes can be more expensive than dimmer switches, especially those with advanced features like adjustable sensitivity and time delay. However, the long-term energy savings from automated lighting control can offset the initial cost. Dimmer switches are generally more affordable, but the cost can vary depending on the type and quality of the switch. Eighthly, consider the maintenance requirements. Photo eyes may require occasional cleaning to ensure accurate light detection. Dimmer switches generally require little to no maintenance, but they may need to be replaced if they fail or become damaged. Ninthly, it's essential to understand the safety considerations when working with these devices. Always turn off the power to the circuit before installing or repairing a photo eye or dimmer switch. Follow the manufacturer's instructions and local electrical codes to ensure safe installation and operation. If you are not comfortable working with electrical wiring, it's best to hire a qualified electrician. Lastly, consider the future trends in lighting control technology. Smart lighting systems are becoming increasingly popular, which integrate photo eyes, dimmer switches, and other sensors to create automated and personalized lighting experiences. These systems can be controlled remotely using smartphones or voice assistants, offering even greater flexibility and energy savings. In summary, while both photo eyes and dimmer switches control lighting, they do so in fundamentally different ways. Photo eyes automate lighting based on ambient light levels, while dimmer switches allow for manual brightness adjustment. Understanding these differences is crucial for selecting the right device for a specific application and for maximizing energy efficiency and user satisfaction. Furthermore, it's beneficial to understand more about the technical details and specifications that are related to each of these devices to make sure that they are applied correctly. Firstly, consider the voltage and amperage ratings. Photo eyes and dimmer switches are designed to operate at specific voltages and amperages. In residential settings, common voltages are 120 volts and 277 volts. In commercial settings, higher voltages like 480 volts are frequently encountered. It is crucial to ensure that the voltage and amperage ratings of the photo eye or dimmer switch match the electrical circuit it is connected to. Using a device with an incorrect rating can lead to overheating, electrical shock, or fire. Secondly, look at the load capacity. The load capacity of a dimmer switch refers to the maximum wattage of lights that it can safely control. This is typically specified in watts, such as 600 watts or 1000 watts. Exceeding the load capacity can cause the dimmer switch to overheat and fail. When choosing a dimmer switch, it is essential to calculate the total wattage of the lights that will be connected to it and select a dimmer switch with a sufficient load capacity. Thirdly, understand the dimming range. The dimming range of a dimmer switch refers to the range of brightness levels that it can provide. Some dimmer switches have a wider dimming range than others, allowing for finer control over the light level. The dimming range is often expressed as a percentage, such as 10% to 100%. When selecting a dimmer switch, consider the desired dimming range and choose a dimmer switch that meets those needs. Fourthly, consider the type of dimmer switch. There are several types of dimmer switches available, each with its own advantages and disadvantages. Common types include rotary dimmers, slide dimmers, and touch dimmers. Rotary dimmers use a knob to adjust the brightness, while slide dimmers use a slider. Touch dimmers use a touch-sensitive surface to control the brightness. The choice of dimmer switch type depends on personal preference and the desired aesthetic. Fifthly, look at the compatibility with different types of light bulbs. Not all dimmer switches are compatible with all types of light bulbs. Some dimmer switches are designed for use with incandescent bulbs, while others are designed for use with LED or fluorescent bulbs. Using an incompatible dimmer switch can cause flickering, reduce bulb life, or damage to the dimmer switch or light bulb. When choosing a dimmer switch, ensure that it is compatible with the type of light bulbs that will be used. Sixthly, consider the energy efficiency of the dimmer switch. Some dimmer switches are more energy efficient than others. Energy efficient dimmer switches use less power to operate and generate less heat. Look for dimmer switches that are labeled as energy efficient or that meet energy efficiency standards, such as those set by the Department of Energy. Seventhly, think about the safety features. Safety is a crucial consideration when selecting a dimmer switch. Look for dimmer switches that have safety features such as overload protection and short circuit protection. Overload protection prevents the dimmer switch from overheating if it is overloaded, while short circuit protection protects the dimmer switch from damage if there is a short circuit in the wiring. Eighthly, consider the ease of installation. Some dimmer switches are easier to install than others. Look for dimmer switches that come with clear instructions and that can be easily installed using basic tools. If you are not comfortable installing a dimmer switch yourself, it is best to hire a qualified electrician. Ninthly, look at the warranty. A warranty provides assurance that the dimmer switch is free from defects and will be repaired or replaced if it fails within a specified period. Look for dimmer switches that come with a warranty of at least 1 year. Tenthly, consider the cost. The cost of a dimmer switch can vary depending on the type, features, and quality. While it is important to stay within your budget, it is also important to choose a dimmer switch that meets your needs and that is of good quality. In summary, when selecting a photo eye or dimmer switch, consider the voltage and amperage ratings, load capacity, dimming range, type of dimmer switch, compatibility with different types of light bulbs, energy efficiency, safety features, ease of installation, warranty, and cost. By considering these factors, you can choose a photo eye or dimmer switch that meets your needs and that provides safe and reliable operation. Remember to always follow the manufacturer's instructions and local electrical codes when installing or repairing a photo eye or dimmer switch. If you are not comfortable working with electrical wiring, it is best to hire a qualified electrician. Furthermore, let us delve into the specifications that are usually present on datasheets for photo eyes and dimmer switches. Firstly, light sensitivity range is especially relevant for photo eyes. This specification indicates the range of light levels that the photo eye can detect, typically measured in lux or foot candles. A wider range allows the photo eye to function effectively in varying ambient light conditions. Secondly, response time refers to how quickly a photo eye or dimmer switch reacts to changes in light or manual adjustments. For photo eyes, a faster response time ensures prompt activation or deactivation of lights. For dimmer switches, it relates to how quickly the light adjusts to the desired brightness level. Thirdly, power consumption is important for both devices. Lower power consumption translates to greater energy efficiency, reducing electricity bills and minimizing environmental impact. Fourthly, operating temperature range specifies the range of temperatures within which the device can function reliably. This is especially crucial for outdoor installations where temperatures can fluctuate significantly. Fifthly, ingress protection or IP rating indicates the level of protection against dust and water. Higher IP ratings are essential for devices installed in harsh environments where they may be exposed to moisture or debris. Sixthly, for dimmer switches, the type of load being controlled is critical. Different types of loads, such as incandescent, LED, or fluorescent, require different types of dimmer switches. Using the wrong type of dimmer switch can lead to flickering, reduced lifespan, or even damage to the lighting fixture. Seventhly, the total harmonic distortion, or THD, is a measure of the distortion of the electrical waveform caused by the dimmer switch. Lower THD values indicate better power quality and reduce stress on the electrical system. Eighthly, the surge protection rating indicates the device's ability to withstand voltage surges, which can be caused by lightning strikes or other electrical disturbances. A higher surge protection rating provides better protection against damage. Ninthly, compliance with safety standards, such as Underwriters Laboratories or UL, is essential. Compliance with these standards ensures that the device has been tested to meet safety requirements. Lastly, the physical dimensions and mounting options should be considered to ensure that the device can be easily installed in the desired location. Understanding these specifications can help you choose the right photo eye or dimmer switch for your specific application and ensure safe and reliable operation. Always consult the manufacturer's datasheet and follow local electrical codes when installing or repairing these devices. Now let's discuss NEC requirements that apply to lighting controls. It's crucial to ensure compliance with the National Electrical Code (NEC) when installing or modifying lighting control systems. Firstly, NEC Section 404.2 addresses the rating and use of snap switches, including dimmer switches. It specifies that switches must be rated for the voltage and amperage of the circuit they control. Secondly, NEC Section 404.14 covers the requirements for dimmers. It mandates that dimmers must be specifically listed and labeled for the type of lighting load they control, such as incandescent, LED, or fluorescent. Thirdly, NEC Section 406.4 D1 requires that when a receptacle is replaced, it must be replaced with a ground fault circuit interrupter, GFCI, protected receptacle if it is located in a damp or wet location. This is especially relevant for outdoor lighting controls, such as photo eyes. Fourthly, NEC Section 410.16 C1 addresses the support of luminaires or light fixtures. It states that luminaires must be securely supported and installed in accordance with their listing and labeling. Fifthly, NEC Section 725 covers the requirements for Class 2 and Class 3 remote control, signaling, and power-limited circuits. This section may apply to lighting control systems that use low-voltage wiring for control signals. Sixthly, NEC Section 310.15 provides guidelines for the ampacity of conductors. It specifies the maximum current that a conductor can carry safely without overheating. This is important for ensuring that the wiring is adequately sized for the lighting load. Seventhly, NEC Section 314 covers the requirements for outlet boxes, junction boxes, and pull boxes. It specifies the minimum size and type of box required for different wiring configurations. Eighthly, NEC Section 210.12 requires arc fault circuit interrupter (AFSI) protection for branch circuits that supply dwelling units. This may apply to lighting circuits in residential buildings. Ninthly, NEC Section 250 covers the requirements for grounding and bonding. It specifies the methods for grounding electrical systems and equipment to protect against electrical shock. Tenthly, NEC Article 547 addresses the requirements for agricultural buildings. This article may apply to light and control systems used in barns, stables, and other agricultural structures. It is crucial to consult the latest edition of the NEC and local electrical codes to ensure compliance when installing or modifying lighting control systems. Always hire a qualified electrician to perform electrical work if you are not comfortable working with electrical wiring. Furthermore, regarding practical installation tips for photo eyes and dimmer switches, remember safety first. Always turn off the power to the circuit at the breaker box before starting any electrical work. Use a voltage tester to verify that the power is off before touching any wires. Secondly, read the instructions. Carefully read the manufacturer's instructions before installing a photo eye or dimmer switch. The instructions will provide specific details about the device and how to install it correctly. Thirdly, identify the wires. Use a wire tracer or multimeter to identify the wires in the electrical box. The wires are typically color-coded, with black being the hot wire, white being the neutral wire, and green or bare copper being the ground wire. Fourthly, make the connections. Connect the wires to the photo eye or dimmer switch according to the manufacturer's instructions. Use wire connectors to ensure that the connections are secure and insulated. Fifthly, mount the device. Mount the photo eye or dimmer switch securely in the electrical box. Use screws to attach the device to the box. Sixthly, test the device. Turn the power back on at the breaker box and test the photo eye or dimmer switch to ensure that it is working properly. Seventhly, adjust the settings. Adjust the settings on the photo eye or dimmer switch to achieve the desired lighting effect. For example, you may need to adjust the sensitivity of the photo eye or the dimming range of the dimmer switch. Eighthly, label the circuit. Label the circuit breaker in the breaker box to indicate which circuit controls the photo eye or dimmer switch. This will make it easier to turn off the power to the circuit in the future if necessary. Ninthly, inspect the installation. Inspect the installation to ensure that all wires are properly connected and that the device is securely mounted. Check for any exposed wires or other potential hazards. Tenthly, document the installation. Document the installation by taking photos or videos of the wiring and the finished installation. This will provide a record of the work that was done and can be helpful for troubleshooting in the future. Finally, if you are not comfortable working with electrical wiring, it is best to hire a qualified electrician to install or repair photo eyes and dimmer switches. They have the training and experience to do the job safely and correctly.